Hey everyone, and welcome to the Unpacked. I'm Daniel, and yeah, it's Friday. No, just not like that. No, actually what I mean is that it's Friday and the Samsung Galaxy S5 release is just a few days from now. So in case you don't know, the event is going to happen on Monday. And in case you want to know what Samsung will release at the event, I made a video especially for that. So what Samsung is going to unveil at Monday's event. Now, since the Galaxy S5's unveil is just 3 days from today, let's take a closer look at the final leaks and rumors of the Galaxy S5. So, enjoy the video. Okay, so in this video I will be covering all the latest and greatest leaks and rumors of the Galaxy S5. Now, to make it easier for you, I've split this video into 5 different sections. So the first one is the design of the Galaxy S5, the second one is the specs, third one is the camera, number 4 is the operating system, and number 5 is the price. Yeah. Okay, so starting with number 1, the design. So the Samsung Galaxy S5 will come with a brand new design. Now, what exactly do I mean by brand new design? Well, it's going to look totally different from the Galaxy S4 because, as you probably know, the transition between the Galaxy S3 and the Galaxy S4 wasn't that huge. They pretty much look the same. Actually, it's really difficult to tell the difference between the S3 and the S4 when you see them just out in the wild. Now, Samsung's executive vice president Li Yongyi mentioned in a Bloomberg interview that when we moved to the S4 from the S3, it's partially true that consumers couldn't really feel much difference between the two products from a physical perspective. So the market's reaction wasn't as big. But for the Galaxy S5, we will go back to the basics. Mostly it's about the display and the feel of the cover. And yeah, there you go. These are some mock-ups of the Galaxy S5, some concepts. And as you can see, the Galaxy S5 is most probably going to look like the Galaxy Note 3. Okay, so going back to the basics. What are the basics? Well, the basics are the Galaxy S1 and the Galaxy S2. As you probably know, the Galaxy S1 and 2, they have a squared design, pretty much like the Galaxy Note 3. And since the Galaxy Note 3 is basically Samsung's latest flagship phone, most probably the Galaxy S5 will have a design which is really similar to the one found in the Galaxy Note 3. So expect something like a mini Note 3. Now, in terms of the display, Samsung might actually do something really crazy. And by crazy, I mean releasing a 2K display on a phone. Now, presumably, the Samsung Galaxy S5 is going to come with a 5.25-inch display, so a larger display, with a resolution of 2560 by 1440. That basically translates to a PPI of 560. There you go, this is the Galaxy S4, and this one comes with a full HD 1080p, that's 1920 by 1080 display. There you go, this is a 5-inch full HD display with a PPI of 441. Now, according to a lot of people, including Apple, once you have exceeded the 300 PPI threshold, your eyes cannot distinguish the individual pixels from a normal viewing distance whatsoever. And not even on my iPhone, which has a PPI of 326, I cannot see any pixels at all, even when I hold it like really close to my eyes. And trust me, my focus is really good. So yeah, 441 PPI is way over that threshold. You cannot see any pixels at all. So why on earth would Samsung make a display with a PPI of 560? Well, it's just for marketing basically, because for those who don't know, you know, when you see two phones in store, one of them with a HD display, the other one with a full HD display, and the third one has a 2K display, you will obviously buy the 2K one because, you know, you think it's better. But as a matter of fact, it's not, because you cannot tell the difference because the PPI is way above that 300 threshold. So yeah, you won't be able to tell any difference, but you will still buy it because you think it's better. So there you go, this was the display of the S5. Now, what about the back casing? Because we are talking about the design now. Well, it could be leather, although I'm not entirely sure about that. My most possible bet, my highest bet, would be on faux leather backing, something similar to what the Galaxy Note 3 comes with. And as a matter of fact, Samsung might actually release 2 models of the Galaxy S5, a normal one and a Pro or Prime one. So the normal one could come with a 1080p display, pretty much exactly like the Galaxy S4, so a 5-inch 1080p display, whereas the Pro one or the Prime one could come with, you know, that 2K 560 ppi 5.25-inch display. And I'm not sure about the backing. I don't think either of them will have a metal back, but if they do, I will be a really happy customer, because this is what I currently hate, I dislike about the Galaxy S4, that it feels really cheap compared to other phones like the HTC One or the iPhone. Okay, now going back to section number 2, which are the specs. Okay, so Samsung will most probably release 2 versions of the Galaxy S5. Once again, one of them might be the normal one and the other one might be the Pro one. Anyway, 2 versions are definitely going to come. One of them is going to have the new Exynos 6 CPU, which is custom made by Samsung. And in case you don't know, the Exynos 6, the Samsung Exynos 6, is an octa-core CPU, and it might even be 64-bit. Because as you probably know, the iPhone 5S, was the world's first phone to feature a 64-bit CPU. Yeah, 64-bit CPU in a mobile phone. Insane, isn't it? And yes, the Exynos 6 might even be 64 bits. Who knows? Now, if it is, we will probably see 4 GB of RAM as well, because as you probably know, the limit for a 32-bit CPU is 3 GB of RAM, whereas if you have a 64-bit CPU, you can get way more than just 3 GB of RAM. Now, going back to the CPU, I mentioned the fact that the Exynos 6 is an octa-core CPU. Well, as a matter of fact, it's not actually an octa-core. It does have 8 cores in total in the CPU, but basically the cores are divided into 2 quad-core CPUs, exactly as Samsung did with the Exynos 4 in the Galaxy S4. So basically the first quad-core CPU is a really low voltage one, and the other one is a high performance one, so high voltage one. Now, you will never see all 8 cores in action at the same time, never. But the good thing about this is that when you run non-intensive apps, like, you know, when your phone is asleep, or when you simply launch, I don't know, S Note or something, then your S5 or even S4 will just use the low voltage cores and it will preserve battery life. Whereas when you use like graphic intensive apps like games, 3D games and such, your Samsung Galaxy S4 will use the other 4 cores for the maximum amount of performance. So yeah, there you go. This is basically what the Exynos 6 is. So I mentioned the fact that the Galaxy S5 will come in 2 models. The first one was the Exynos 6 one. Now the second one is going to be the Snapdragon 805 one. So in case you don't know, Snapdragon 805 is basically the latest and greatest mobile CPU from Qualcomm. And it was released, actually was announced at CES because it's not actually used in any phone out there. And the Galaxy S5 is most probably going to be the first device in the world to utilize the power of the quad-core 2.5 GHz Snapdragon 805. And in case you don't know what happened with the Galaxy S4 did come in 2 models. So you had the i9500, 9500, and the 9505 model, which is the one I have right here. So the difference between those two was the fact that the 9500 had the Exynos 4 CPU, whereas the other one, the 9505, had the Snapdragon 600 in it. And the thing is, Samsung didn't actually plan on releasing the Snapdragon, because at the event, at the Samsung Unpacked event, in which they released the Samsung Galaxy S4, they only mentioned the 9500 version. And the only reason why they released the 9505 version was the limited supply in the Exynos 4 CPU, because they had a really tough problem in producing so many CPUs, so many Exynos 4 CPUs. So yeah, same thing might happen with the Galaxy S5. And once again, if the Exynos 6 is not a 64-bit CPU, then we will most probably see 3 GB of RAM in it. This one comes with just 2 GB of RAM, just 2. And yeah, the Galaxy Note 3 comes with 3, and the Galaxy S5 should come with at least 3, if not 4. Once again, 4 only if it's a 64-bit CPU. Now, apparently the 2 versions, the 2 CPU models, and even the 2 versions have been leaked on a Chinese AnTuTu benchmark result. So yeah, someone from China, I believe, posted this image. So yeah, there you go. 2 models, one with a 1080p display, the other one with a 2K display. And you can also see the 2 CPUs, so Exynos 6 and the Snapdragon 805. And there has been a second leak of the box. Yes, the box of the Galaxy S5. I'm not sure how legit this is, but apparently there has been a box leaked. The Galaxy S5 box has been leaked. And yeah, as you can see on the box, the specs look quite interesting. 20 megapixel camera, the quad-core Snapdragon 805 CPU, 3 GB of RAM, but only a 1080p display. So this might be the standard model, not a Prime one or the Pro one. So what other features will the Galaxy S5 have? Well, you will still be getting the same Galaxy S4 features, such as the cool eye scanning features, the air view, air gesture, eye tracking ones, which actually never worked for me. So yeah, you will still be getting those on the Galaxy S5. Now you will also be getting a fingerprint reader. There you go, a fingerprint reader, something like on the iPhone 5 5S. Now everyone believed that a Galaxy S5 would come with an iris or an eye scanning technology. And the thing is, Samsung actually made a patent. Yeah, there we go. Samsung actually patented, no idea how to pronounce that. So yeah, Samsung actually did that, the word, with a eye scanning technology. So they have a patent for iris scanning technology in a phone, but honestly I don't think Samsung will implement that because Samsung Galaxy S4 did come, even the S3, with a lot of eye tracking features like smart stay, smart pause, smart scroll, but honestly none of those actually worked for me because you needed really good lighting conditions and you don't have those all the time, and it's really difficult to get them to work properly. So yes, I don't think any iris scanning technology will be included in the S5. Now what I do believe is a fingerprint scanner, once again fingerprint reader like on the Galaxy, like on the iPhone 5S. Now it would still be implemented on the home button. There we go. The only difference is that, you know, on the 5S, you only have to hold your finger on the button for a couple of milliseconds, actually for 600 milliseconds, because there you go, the iPhone 5S, the fingerprint scanner on the 5S works in just 0.6 seconds. Now on the Galaxy S5, apparently, you would have to scroll your finger from left to right to have your phone unlocked. So yes, their technology apparently is not as advanced as the one on the iPhone 5S, but we'll see more about that next Monday. Just a quick note, the iPhone 5S was not the first phone to feature a fingerprint reader. The first one was actually the Motorola Atrix, which was released in 2011. That was the first phone to feature a fingerprint reader. It didn't actually work that well. And you know, in 2013, Apple did what they always do, reinventing something which was already invented, but basically improving on that concept. So yeah, the iPhone's 5S fingerprint reader works in just 0.5 seconds. Then came the HTC One Max, which was the third phone with a fingerprint reader or a scanner. The only problem with the HTC One Max was that it had a fingerprint scanner on the back of the device. There we go. And since the HTC One Max is a 5.7, I believe, 5.7 inch phone, it's quite a large one, and it was really difficult to find a fingerprint reader with just one hand. But fortunately, Samsung is not going to do that in the S5 because it is going to be included in the home button. Okay, so what other features except the fingerprint reader? Well, waterproof? Who knows? Probably not, but honestly, I would enjoy taking a shower with my Galaxy S5. Just saying. Okay, so moving on to number 3, the camera. Now, we are expecting to see a 16 or 20 megapixel camera in the new Galaxy S5. Now, my personal opinion is that it's going to be a 16 megapixel camera. The Galaxy S4 comes with a 13 megapixel camera, but once again, it could be 16 and 20 if they are going to release 2 separate models. So again, the standard one and the Pro or Prime one. Now, the camera is most probably going to record in 4K video recording like the Galaxy Note 3, because the Galaxy Note 3 is the world's first phone with the ability to record in 4K, because, you know, 4K cameras are really expensive. So yeah, phone with the ability to record in 4K would be just insane. Although the quality is far from what regular 4K cameras have. Now, the Galaxy S5 might also come with a really improved flash technology. Now, what exactly do I mean by improved? So apparently Samsung has patented a new technology, a new flash technology, which uses a reflective alloy to reflect the light. Now, this will translate in a a dramatically improved flash, actually, which will make all the subjects in the photo stand out, not just the ones in the center. So yeah, 16 megapixel camera, 4K video recording, 1.12, I forgot to mention this, 1.12 microns thick pixels, and a new aluminum alloy reflective flash. There you go. Okay, moving on to number 4, operating system, the OS. So the Galaxy S5 will most probably come with, obviously, Android. The latest version of Android, which at the moment is 4.4.2. So yeah, KitKat 4.4.2. And by the way, just a quick note, I have KitKat installed on my S4. I have CyanogenMod 11 on my S4, just in case you are curious on how to install CyanogenMod and get KitKat on your Galaxy S4. Let me know in the comment section down below, and I will post a tutorial video on how to flash and install the custom ROM on your Galaxy S4. So let me know in the comment section down below. Okay, so there have been some leaked images of the new OS in the Galaxy S5. And by new OS, I don't mean Android 4.4.2. I actually mean a new TouchWiz. There you go. So Samsung will unveil a new TouchWiz with their new Galaxy S5, which, as you can see from those images, it looks to be extremely flat. So everyone's going flat. Windows Phone, you know, the flat tiles, that was the first flat design, so to say. Now everyone is moving to flatness. iOS 7 and now even TouchWiz. There you go. And speaking of Windows Phone 8 and live tiles, apparently live tiles will be present in the new TouchWiz as well. So there you go. This is how the new TouchWiz is supposed to look. And as you can see, we have new and live tiles, something like you would see on the Windows phones. Pretty cool, isn't it? Control C and then Control V. That's pretty much what everyone does nowadays, isn't it? But as a famous person with the initials SJ said, copying is not actually stealing as long as you improve on it. So hopefully Samsung is going to improve on their live tiles. And in terms of apps, the new TouchWiz will apparently focus on speed, outdoor, curiosity, fun, social, style, privacy, fitness, and life. There we go. And finally, moving on to number 5, the last section of this video, which is the price. There we go, the price of the Galaxy S5. How expensive is this thing going to be? Well, I don't think it's going to be any cheaper than the Galaxy S4, so expect something like $200 or $250 on contract and between $600 and $800 off contract. So it should be about the same as the iPhone 5s, maybe a bit less expensive, although the Galaxy S4 was a bit more expensive than the iPhone 5 at launch, but then the price suddenly dropped for some reason. So yeah, $200-$250 on contract and between $600 and $800 off contract. Now it might actually come with 128 gigabytes of storage, although I'm not entirely sure about that, because a good thing about the Samsung devices is that you can expand them, expandability, there you go. You can expand the storage using a micro SD card. So if I want, I can simply add a 64-bit SD card in this one, and I get an extra 64 gigabytes. So who knows, maybe instead of just bumping the internal storage to 128, they might simply include a 64 gigabytes micro SD card. Who knows? So anyway, this was basically it. This was everything I had to say, all the leaks and rumors, the final leaks and rumors about the upcoming Samsung Galaxy S5. So if you made it this far in the video, I don't know, thank you for watching this video. This was basically a really long video, took me quite a while to make, so thank you all for watching this video. Don't forget to hit the like button down there if you have enjoyed watching it, and also subscribe to my channel because the Samsung Galaxy S5 is going to be unveiled on Monday, so 3 days from today, and I will be covering, I will be doing a live coverage of the event. I will post a lot of tweets, by the way, Facebook tweets, and Google Plus tweets. Yeah, there we go. So don't forget to check me out on those social media thingies as well. And yeah, I will see you in the next video. Now, before I leave, I have a question for you, which is, what exactly do you think the Galaxy S5 is going to feature? Let me know in the comment section down below. What do you think about the Galaxy S5? I did tell you what I think about the Galaxy S5. Now it's your time to tell me what you think about the Galaxy S5. So don't forget to comment down below, letting me know what's your opinion, what are your thoughts on the upcoming Galaxy S5. And before I leave, I want you to make me a promise. I know, note somewhere, just add a reminder to your phone or on your calendar after the event on Monday, after you've seen how the Galaxy S5 looks, feels, everything about the Galaxy S5 has been unveiled. Don't forget to come back to this video, and if anything I said about the Galaxy S5 was true, or everything, who knows, I don't know, let me know in the comment section down below that I was right or something, and hit the like button again if you can do that. You cannot do that, but just saying. Once again, thank you all for watching this video. I'm Daniel from Zone of Tech, and I'll see you in the next video, and until then, like as always, cheers. Reflective alloy. How the heck do you pronounce that?